Hi guys, welcome to Kumar Consulting. So guys, this is the first session of this batch and the first session is going to be started from introduction onwards. Here I have specified we are going to learn SAP FICO on S4 Hana platform. What is this? I'll explain everything in detail. Okay. Now, so the first question is here, what is SAP? Okay. So see, I have written here already systems applications product in data processing. So first of all, when you have to learn something, you need to know about that, right? So when you have to learn SAP, you need to know what is this SAP. So generally what happens, the first thing which comes in your mind, that is this one only, systems applications and product in data processing, right? But again, this is just the full form of SAP, right? So now again the question is still remain, what is SAP? So what is the answer, guys? Can anybody say something? Anyone? If anyone is having any idea?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me, dear.
Sir, SAP in an ERP system stands for Enterprise Research Planning. ERP terms is that software that controls whole organization in different departments.
Okay, great. Any other answer from anybody?
Sure, I can say, sir, it's an ARP which provide end-to-end solutions
Okay,
to record, summarize, and analyze the day-to-day activity in organizations, and also help in forecasting and budgeting
okay,
by generating required reports, right?
okay, great. Anybody want to add anything? Okay, now I'll tell you guys. So whichever answers are there, we can say like sum and substance of these answers are same, right? And in one line, the definition of SAP is it's an ERP, right? Very simple. It's an ERP. Now the question is, what is ERP? So that is also already answered. First of all, ERP. This is the question. So what is ERP? Now look at here. So ERP means what? ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. And here the definition of ERP is hidden in the full form of ERP itself, right? Now, what is the full form of ERP? So, so enterprise resource planning. Now, look at here. Enterprise means what? Enterprise is nothing but an organization, a business organizations, right? Resources. What are the resources required to run a particular organizations? So earlier, it was 4M in the sense important resources I'm talking about. Now another 2M is also added. 4M in the sense, see, man, money, machines, and material. These are the essential part, and apart from this, marketing and methods are also added. But these 4M are, are required is what do you say, elements to. These are the 4M in the sense manpower is required to run an organizations. Money is also required to run a particular organizations. Machineries are also required. Let's suppose if we talk about an organization called, like when I quote example of Tata Motor always, right? Instead of Tata Motor, you can take example of any other company. I'm not saying that Tata Motor itself, it could be any organizations, right? So uh, now Tata Motor is a manufacturing organizations. Of course, machineries are also required. In order to manufacture a particular end product, materials are also required, raw materials are required, right? So these are the required, what to say, elements. So enterprise, resource, and planning. Planning about what? Planning about the, look at here, effective utilizations and optimizations of resources, right? Or effective, or we can say optimum utilization of resources. Optimum is nothing but maximum utilization of resources, right? So if we talk about this definition of ERP, look at here. ERP is nothing but a software which helps an organization to manage their resources effectively and efficiently. It ensures the optimum or maximum utilizations of resources. Now the question is, how a software is going to help an organization to use their resources, like to use their resources effectively, efficiently, right? So I'll let you know. These are the resources I have specified here also. Again, as I said, like I've quoted the example of Tata Motor. So Tata Motor itself, or else even if you take the example of other organizations, that's fine. Every organizations are having certain department, sales department, purchase department, finance and account, human resource department, right? And I'll tell you, if these are the major department. If we talk about an organizations which was like, let's suppose, existing 100 year back, in those days also these departments were there. And if you talk about an organizations which is like after 100 years also these departments will be there, right? These are the core departments, isn't it? So earlier also sales, purchase, account, finance, HR department was there. Right now also it is there, and even in future also it will be there, right? Okay. So now look at here. Take example of any of the department, either sales department, purchase department, finance account, whatever it is. So here I have quoted. Let's suppose take the example of sales department, right? So sales department is having right now the total number of. Let's assume that this particular organization, Tata Motor is not using any ERP. ERP means what? Software. So in case if the Tata Motor is not using any ERP, then what will happen? See, I'll tell you guys here. If you talk about, like I've written here, it is a software, right? So software means that is going to help an organizations to utilize their resources effectively and efficiently. Now, if you take the example of here, I quoted the example of what, this sales department, of Tata Motor. So now Tata Motor is exactly like they're not using any ERP right now. Say for example, everything is being managed on books only, right? Sales related transactions are going to be recorded in, let's suppose, what do you say, sales related register will be there, sales registers. Purchase related transactions are going to be recorded in purchase registers manually. So in that case, for sales department, the number of employees, physically everything are going to be recorded. When you talk about earlier, like 50 years back, 60 years back, computer was not there, right? So, and if the computer was there also, it was not being used by organizations, right? Because in those days, like it was very difficult in the sense like the development was development and of computer was, we can say, in preliminary stage, right? So maybe it was being used by some scientific work and all, but not for the organizations. So everything was happening manually, right? 50 years back, 60 years back, 70 years back. So in those days, the number of employees, in order to help, what do you say, handle the sales department, the number of employees will be more, 50 employees. Out of 50 employee, 25 employee required to record the day-to-day transactions which is taking place for sales department. Our remaining 25 people, let's suppose, involved in report preparations, because organizations needs various kind of reports, several kinds of report, right? So here, this is happening when the Tata Motor is not using any ERP, any software. Now take the example of ERP in the sense, now let's suppose Tata Motor is going to use the software and ERP, right? In that case, what will happen, guys? Now, earlier, without ERP, total number of employees, how much? 50 employees are needed. But now, once they started using ERP, then the same sales department, which was being managed by 50 people, now the same sales department can be handled and managed by only 25 people. So look at here, guys, there will be a benefit now. Earlier, 50 people, 50 resources were required to handle the sales department. Now, with the help of ERP, only 25 people can handle this sales department. Why? Because whoever people involved in day-to-day transactions recording, right? Those 25 people are required because transactions are taking place even right now also. So those people were recording manually earlier on registers. Now what is happening? They have to record the same transactions by using this ERP, by using SAP. It is a software, right? So these 25 people are required. But what about the remaining 25 people who used to prepare the reports manually? Now here, with the help of ERP, what is happening? The reports will be prepared by system automatically. So that's what I said, that only 25 people can handle this entire sales department, right? I think the WhatsApp is open, so let me close it so that noise will not be there. Okay, so now look at here. Of course, now so here these 25 people, these 20 remaining 25 people, right? So these people can work like in a different department, or else like Tata Motor can assign some different activity, some different work to these 25 people. So look at here now, there is the maximum utilization of resources. Maximum utilization means earlier 50 people altogether were involved in the sales department itself. Now only 25 people can handle the entire sales department, and these 25 people can perform some different activities. So here the optimum utilizations, maximum utilizations are happening, right? So benefit of ERP, benefit of software, of course it's there, guys, because even take example of like banking system. If you talk about like means not about what to say, we cannot take our example, but if we talk about like some 30 years back, 40 years back, even like yeah 30 years back we can say. So mostly what is happening, guys, like if you need, like let's suppose if you visit a bank branch and say for example you've forgotten to carry your passbook, and if you have requested the bank branch manager that so do something because I'm coming from far away, and now again if I cannot get back to my home to carry the pass to bring the passbook back, so please find out my account number. I'm going to give some hints, and if they have to check your account details, it may take 2 hours also, 3 hours also. Why? Because they are going to bring some registers and all where they have maintained your record, right? 30 years, 40 years back. Now what is happening, guys? Nowadays if you visit the bank branch, do you need to carry the passbook? No, not at all. If you need any information, simply you just, you have to tell your name and plus your certain details in the sense like whatever your date of birth is there, right? If you say your name plus date of birth plus email ID, they are going to fetch your details. If you say your name plus your Aadhaar ID or whatever, even contact number only. If you give your contact number, your entire information should be there. How? With the help of ERP itself, no? With the help of software. So earlier, let's suppose if we talk about a reception counter, so whatever, like let's suppose earlier, if 40 years back, let's suppose on reception counter, there is a requirement of 5 people, right? Right now, what is happening? Whatever the work was being done by 5 people altogether, now with the help of this software, with the help of ERP, the same work can be performed by a single person, right? A single person can alone handle a crowd of 200 people, 300 people. Why? Because they are using the ERP, they are using the software, right? And with the help of software, whatever the required informations are there, within a second, they'll be able to check and they'll be able to give you the details, right? So this is what the what do you say benefit of ERP. Okay, ERP is nothing but a software. Now, when I talk about ERP, so what about this SAP? SAP is, of course, it's an ERP, it's a software, but it's not only SAP itself is not only the software in the market, guys. There are multiple softwares are there in the market, right? We are having SAP, we are having Oracle, we are having JD Edwards, PAN, Epicor, PeopleSoft, Navision, Tally, right? So multiple ERPs are there in the market. Several ERP, lots of small ERPs are there that you might have not heard the name of those ERP. The SAP, Oracles, and all these are the very famous, right? Of course, if you talk about the market share, SAP is the leading ERP in the market. The market leader is SAP itself. Almost you can say like if you talk about the competitor of SAP, none of the ERPs are there. The competitor, you can say like a monopoly kind of things are there. Almost whichever the big players are there, everybody are using ERP as this SAP itself. But apart from this, multiple ERPs are also there in the market. Now, two kind of ERPs are there. One is called standard ERP and second one is called customized ERP. Okay. So standard ERP means what? If you talk about this SAP, this is called standard ERP. Standard ERP means, let's suppose you guys are learning this SAP. from here, right? So in the sense like you learn this SAP in India. Now what will happen? Once you guys are going to become SAP consultant, so there is no guarantee that you guys are going to get only Indian project itself. You can get the project from USA, you can get the project from European countries, Australia, Canada, anywhere. So here SAP means what? It is a standard ERP. It means whatever screens, transaction code, configurations, settings I'm going to explain here, right? The same field, same transaction code, same screen, everything will be same even for US also, even for other countries also, right? Slight differences will be there. Slight differences means if we talk about the tax calculations, here in India, of course, it will be different. In US, it will be different. In Canada, it will be different, right? But again, configuration part will be almost 90% of the things are same. So that is why when you say like if you have taken this SAP is a global platform, right? If anybody, if you learn properly this SAP, you guys will be able to work on any project belongs to any country because this is the standard software, right? And throughout the world, same screen, same everything will be there, right? Customized means what? Customized means let's suppose there is an organization and that organization again is required a software to what do you say uh, manage their activity. So now what did they decided? Like let's suppose they opted this SAP, Oracle, or other ERPs and all, and what they found that their requirement is not going to be met by this SAP or Oracle or anything. Okay, or maybe their 60% of the requirements are going to be met by SAP, remaining 40% again they have to go for customizations or something. So in that case, they decided that you just do one thing based on our requirement, kindly develop a software for our organizations. So that is called customized software. Customized means that particular software is developed for that particular organization. Let's suppose there is an organization called ABC Limited. One software is developed by the developers. Okay, developer means not a single person, there will be a team. Okay, so they have developed a particular software for ABC Limited. So that is called customized software, right? That particular software you can find only in ABC Limited, you cannot find anywhere else. But if we talk about SAP, this is standard. Standard means it is already developed, everything's are there, right? The same SAP can be implemented, let's suppose in one organization which is there in India, same software is going to be implemented in another organization which is there in US. And when you talk about the implementations activity in the sense configurations and all, almost 98%, 99% the same steps will be there. This is how what is happening, guys. Anybody, uh, whoever the SAP consultants are there, they can work on any kind of project. It belongs to no matter whichever countries, right? Okay. So multiple ERPs are there, but SAP is market leader. Now, if you see here, I have specified SAP FICO. So what is this SAP FICO? Of course, SAP FICO is nothing but a module, right? That too, it's not a single module, guys, right? It is the combination of two modules, FI and CO. FI stands for financial accounting and CO stands for controlling. There is the combination of two different modules. Again, now if you talk about SAP, so you guys like, so SAP means you cannot learn the entire SAP. SAP is just like ocean, right? So when you talk about like if you have to be a master, if you're going to be a master, it means you can be master of a particular module. You can't be master of each and every module. See, if you talk about like even in our like if you talk about our educations and all, there also uh, in graduations or in PG in the sense in masters and all. So people are going to you have to graduate in a particular subject, right? Or you are going to be masters in a particular subject, isn't it? In the same way here in SAP also, different modules are there, right? We are having, look at here. Here we are having FI, CO, MM, SD, HR, PP, QM, PS. Multiple modules are there. Several modules are there. broader level, at broader level, whatever these modules are there, that is divided into two parts. One is called functional module and second one is called technical module. See, I have seen multiple time because my numbers are available at several places. Lots of people know my number, right? It is there even on my YouTube channel also. I receive multiple calls, right? And where like people, most likely people are having confusions. What kind of confusion, guys? They say is like, so this SAP is the part of IT. So what about this codings and all? Because I don't have any idea of coding since I'm from BCom background or BSc background or BA background, right? So I don't have any idea about the codings and all. So I'll tell you guys, codings are not required. Look at here in SAP, we are having codings in the sense like I'm talking about technical things are not required. Okay. Of course, certain transaction codes are there, but that is totally different thing. And that is quite easy. No need to be confused here. So look at here. Now we have like SAP modules are divided into two parts. One is called functional and second one is called technical. For this functional module, no codings, nothings are required. Of course, codings are required for this technical module, right? For technical, we are having the major modules are ABAP and BASIS, right? So later on, like once I start the practical session, then you guys will be having perfect understanding about the ABAP and BASIS also. What exactly done by ABAP consultant, what exactly done by BASIS consultant. This is the first class. Of course, I know that multiple questions will be there in your mind because this is the first session. But I'll tell you guys, most of the questions automatically it is going to be clarified. However, like once I complete this entire explanations, you guys can ask the questions and I'm going to reply your question, whatever your questions are there, that will be answered one by one. But most other things are going to be clarified automatically. Okay, because I don't put any scope of like what do you say this one queries and all. I explain everything. Okay, so now here functional and technical. Two modules are there. Functional module means that is for you people. Okay. Technical modules means that is for technical people in the sense somebody is from BTech background, computer science and all, or else like in BTech like whatever the other things are there. So for those people, technical modules are there. Functional module means whatever I said. FI, CO, SD, MM, PP, QM, PS. These all are functional modules only. And here codings are not required. Here, what we have to do, we have to do lots of configurations. What is this configurations? That I'll explain in details. In the sense, first few classes will be theoretical sessions. After that, what is happening? Practical sessions are going to be started, right? And our entire practical session will be like we have to do lots of configurations. So you guys are going to be master of these configurations. So no need to worry. What is this configurations? That we'll see practically. Okay. So okay, so we are having functional and technical module. Functional module, look at here, I have specified few modules, FI, CO, MM, SD, HR, right? This is the FI stand for financial accounting, or it is called finance also. CO stand for controlling, MM stand for material management, that is a different module, right? SD stand for sales and distributions. So for every module, different consultant will be there. One person cannot handle each and every module, right? So every module, different consultants are going to be there. Okay. Now there is one more thing I have specified here, S4 HANA. Okay. So what is this S4 HANA, guys? Right? What is this S4 HANA? See, I'll tell you guys, S4 HANA is nothing but the name of version, SAP version, right? See, version in the sense like, okay, generally for this one also again, I can say here also confusions are there. Confusions are there multiple time I have seen when the people calls or when this message me, they ask like, so are you teaching SAP FICO or you're going to teach S4 HANA? So I'll tell you guys, see, S4 HANA is the name of SAP version. Okay, so now, so this is the current version which is there in the market, S4 HANA. What about before S4 HANA? Before S4 HANA, look at here. we were using SAP ECC version. Okay. Before S4HANA, we were using SAP ECC version. Now, see, so these are the two different versions. Okay. And if you talk about FICO, FICO is the module, right? So, say for example, when you talk about earlier in the sense like what do you say, this uh, SAP FICO module. So, FICO you have to learn on ECC version also and S4 HANA version also, no matter whichever version. Let's suppose if somebody is teaching ECC version, so they will teach FICO module, is SD module, MM module, right? Different modules they are going to teach. If somebody is using S4 HANA version, on that also you have to learn the same module, right? So FICO is a module name and S4 HANA is version name, right? So SAP ECC version and S4 HANA. Now, what about you people? Which version I am going to teach? So I'll cover both so that you guys will be having perfect understanding. And if anybody asks like what is the difference between ECC and S4 HANA, so practically if you know, then you guys will be having like you guys are going to be more confident, right? And everything I'll explain practically also, so that no need to mug up the question and answer multiple times today. In the sense, just I think uh, 10 minutes back, before just 10 minutes before the classes, I can show that message also. I think I have what do you say, closed this WhatsApp, right? It's okay. I received one message from a girl, and she was asking, "Sir, do you have any interview question and answer? What do you say, this related videos?" So I'll tell everybody that there is no any shortcut, right? There is no fixed question for interview, right? See, interviewer can ask any question. One question can be asked in a 20 different way, isn't it? So instead of just mugging up the question and answer, better to understand the topic. Once you understood practically and perfectly, then let them ask the questions, whatever they want. Or else, if simply we are going to mug up the question and answer, then what will happen? From your answer itself, they will derive the next question, and then the faces of the candidates are going to be blank, right? Because now what to say? Isn't it? So anyway, everything's are going to be explained in details here. These are the two different versions, SAP that is called ECC version and S4 HANA version. See, I'll tell you guys, SAP multiple versions are released by SAP, and not only for this SAP, whichever ERPs are there, whichever. If you talk about the applications, we are having like WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube for everything. Every after 20 days or every after 1 month or 2 months, you receive some notifications. What for? To update your app. So updation means what? It means they have launched a new version. So once you update, then the new version is, in the sense the new version is applicable, in the sense that is applied. It means what? It means they have made some changes, right? They have added certain future. Sorry, not future actually. Sorry, they have added certain features. The same thing is there in SAP also. So this is because cutthroat competitions are there in the market. Already multiple ERPs are there in the market. So every ERP they have to keep on improving, in the sense they have to keep on adding new feature based on the customer's requirement, right? So if we talk about like SAP version, when it was quite new, right? At that point of time, it was like quite new, in the sense I'm talking about way back in 1972. So the first version was SAP R1, then next was SAP R2, then SAP R3. I'm talking about like before our birth, right? I think none of you were there in 72, isn't it? So from there onwards, so R1 was there, then R2 was there, then R3 was there, right? That is called R3 is real time three, what do you say, tire architectures and all. Okay. Uh, we will not go in those details and all, because those what do you say, versions were already gone long back, and then ECC was introduced after that, right? ECC, I think 4.7 was there, then ECC 5.0 came, then ECC 6.0 came, then SAP said like, okay, if this is the case, then 7.0, 8.0. So instead of that, SAP stopped this ECC 6.0 itself, and they added EHP, ECC 6.0 EHP1, ECC 6.0 EHP2, EHP 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So ECC was there. ECC version was there till EHP 8. Okay, that is the name of the version. Somebody joined just now, and now it is going to be finished, right? And then after the next version S4 HANA. So in S4 HANA also, right? S4 HANA, it was introduced like it was being used from where? I think 2015 onwards, right? It came into market. The first version was I think 1511. S4 HANA 1511. Then we had 1610. Then S4 HANA 1709. Then S4 HANA 1809. Right? 1909. And then 2020, 2021 version, 2022 version, and the latest version of S4 HANA which is there in the market is 2023. Now the question is why 2023? Why not 2024? So there is no 2024 version. Now every year it is not going to be released. Now every after 2 years they are going to release the new version. Okay. Now if we talk about new version doesn't mean that when the new versions are launched, it means everything are changed. Very minute changes will be there. Very slight changes will be there, right? Most of the time, if you talk about like the change between 2023 and 2022, lots of people will not be able to find the changes, right? Such minute changes will be there, isn't it? So even still, I can see in the market, lots of people are teaching this S4 HANA on 2021 version, 2020 version, 2021 version, 2022 versions. 2022 very less people are using. 2021 itself is being used by people. 2023 is the latest one, which I am going to cover here in your classes, right? So S4 HANA is the version name, and as I said, FICO is the module name, right? So hope you guys are having clarity here. This is the module and this is the version. In the sense, FICO you have to learn on which version? On S4 HANA version, right? In the sense, as I said, like I'll cover S4 HANA and ECC both, so that practically you guys will be having a perfect understanding. Okay, so this is what the introduction part, guys. That's all in this session, and that's all for today. What I'll do, I'll pause the recording because I know that some small questions will be there. So I don't want to make this video lengthy because whatever the questions are there, I know like after that it is going to be the questions will be pretty easy, simple. So I won't record here. I'll simply pause the video and then you can ask the questions. I'm going to reply one by one.